Hi, Jana. Thanks for your post. Appreciate the way you covered Iran's factors, specifically the constitutional revisions. I didn't cover that at all in my post, and I thought that that was great insight on your part to have that addition. Oops, and I just pushed play on your thing. All right. And what I want to talk about in response to your post are the similar factors in Saudi Arabia, specifically well, you talked about the information revolution and government unrest, but the one I want to address is government expansion and expansion of infrastructure and bureaucratic systems. I think that that's an interesting point. I did not read that or cover that in mine. It's interesting because as Saudi Arabia seeks to expand, one of the things they're credited with having done well is modernization without secularization, and that is their commitment. So I wonder if you thought those are linked together. First of all, that there would be a challenge to Islam, and there would have to be. To challenge al-Assad would be to challenge their Islamic infrastructures because they are an Islamic state. And so I'm wondering how that would tie in. And the second thing is that made me think about the influence of Wahhab on religion in Saudi Arabia and how it structures its political system. There wasn't a lot in the text about public response to Wahhab. I just recently read that to say Wahhabist or Wahhabism is really inaccurate because even the Saudis think that really translates into deification of a man, which is completely unacceptable. So it's interesting to me when you talk about government unrest between the Sunnis and the Shias and opposing sentiments toward the government and government expansion, how Wahhab plays a role in that, what influence there is, and then also how the family dynamic that they have in Saudi Arabia influences expansion, because we know that it's still very personal, it's still very relational, even though it is evolving, because modernization has demands so much more than just a handshake, so to speak. So it's interesting to me that you pointed out those two things. The government unrest, I didn't attribute so much to Sunnis and Shias as I did to the youth surge in Iran and the youth surge in Saudi Arabia. So your post caused me to think about some different alternatives, or just some alternatives to my own post and factors that could contribute to an uprising in Saudi Arabia, and I appreciate that. And then, of course, I completely agree with the information revolution that is occurring. Again, I attributed that predominantly to the youth, and it'll be interesting to see where the uprising would come from. Is it going to come from the youth, or is it going to come from religious sects, which don't really exist in Saudi Arabia like they do in Iran? But you did mention different social groups, women, the educated, the youth, and all of that. So it's just interesting. You made me think a little bit more about the interplay of dynamics going on that would lead to an anti-government revolution. Thanks so much.